What is up, everybody? Mikey Panzernator here with another Formable Nation tutorial. We are going to form the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Now, I recommend, honestly, historically I focus. I don't think plays too large of a role in this one because none of the national focuses of Great Britain or any of the others will affect you that much. So, to form the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, what you need to do is you need to either start as Poland or Lithuania and conquer the other one. That's what you need. You'll get some chords on some other states like Ostpreußen and a bunch of the Western Soviet states, but this is probably one of the more straightforward nations to form. You don't have to change the ideology, so if you stay non-aligned, you can take Polish revanchism, which lowers the world tension limit for declaring war down to 10%. And you'll see in the time lapse, I tried to do it all live, but it took longer to get to 10%. So I'm just going to do it like I'm doing all my other Formable Nation guides, where I give you a little intro, we go into a time lapse with a voiceover where I kind of talk about a few tips and tricks, and then we come back to live me at the end, where we click the button and take a look at what happens. But pretty much you can switch fascist or communist, which is definitely a smart thing to do if you want to side with either of your neighbors and just get the little bit that you can or whatever. It's of course all up to you, but you don't need to really change your army around too much. And well, Lithuania is kind of a cakewalk, so let's get to the time lapse and let's see how we do it. Alright, so I'll be back right now. Alrighty, everybody, so here we are with the time lapse. I try to do, like I said in the intro, I try to do this live, but it was just not meant to be. So this is a very straightforward one. Basically, all you have to do is really make the decision between switching to communist or fascist or staying non-aligned. In this one, I stay non-aligned, and you can do it with your starting army with no adjustments made. I would recommend preparing for what you would do after the war, so fighting the Soviets or fighting the Germans, and you know, kind of planning things out that way. You know, this of course should go into where you build all your factories and, you know, probably fortifying up a little bit if you can. And you know, I'm just getting resources set up and resetting my Air Force. But yeah, just put the troops you have currently into some armies. What I did was I think I just switched them all over to an infantry template and put them on the Lithuanian border. And what you do from there is you stay on the right side of your focus tree, go down towards Polish revanchism. I don't know what it's called, but so you see me, I'm on the path. I'm kind of explaining it right there. Again, I try to do this live, but it just was not meant to be. And you just play it as you would any other Hearts of Iron 4 nation. Always checking in on the Soviets and the Germans to see if the Germans are going towards reassert eastern claims, because you don't want them to take Memel from Lithuania before you attack. Otherwise, you won't be able to form the nation until and after you would theoretically fight Germany and get that back. And the same way, you don't want the Soviets to claim the eastern portions of your country, because you kind of need that too. So keeping an eye on your enemies. The Polish Navy, kind of not really useful at this point, but anyways, training some more divisions. I think what I'd shoot for here is to get to 2 full armies of 24 infantry divisions. Try and, you know, make them standard 7-2 infantry artillery, and there we go. We have Polish revanchism. So now what we do is we just wait for world tension to get to 10%, which takes a lot longer than you would think. You know, the Spanish Civil War and Italy annexing Ethiopia and all of that. You have to wait a little bit. I think it takes me until after both the Anschluss and the fate of Czechoslovakia, but you know, that's no problem for you. Again, I would say just keep building up your forces. Air Force, I don't know, probably neglect. Again, all of my army buildup and all of my techs are not geared towards Lithuania, but towards what I do after I take Lithuania. So, for example, holding off the Germans or the Soviets, or, you know, if you decide to switch to fascist or communist right now, you'd be trying to switch ideologies and then justifying a war goal. So But my plan in this game, which I plan on live streaming the aftermath, so basically start off from when this tutorial ends and do a live stream. What I would do is I'd probably side with Britain and try not to die. And then after the war, take Ostpreußen and my Russian corps, and then from there, see what I can get. Maybe continue blobbing out a little bit more. You know, you will get corps in Latvia, so not just Lithuania. You need Lithuania to form the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. It's in the name, Polish and Lithuanian. If you wanted to do this as Lithuania, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just telling you how to form the nation. No one in particular. As Lithuania, it would definitely be a lot harder and not nearly as fast. Maybe you could do something like paratroopers, or I just truly don't know. Maybe take over some of the other Baltic states and figure it out from there. But anyways, you know, getting all the industrial techs, considering what I'm going to do, and I do decide to stick with the democratic path, I'm going to join the Allies, and once I form the PLC, and try and hold off the Germans. So what would I do to hold off the Germans and the Soviets? Well, I'd stick with infantry 7-2, infantry and artillery. I definitely would get anti-tank. I'd put in anti-tank support battalions. And then what I would do is I would just try and fortify some areas and see what I can do. So probably, you know, build some forts along some rivers, just trying to hold the line there. Maybe you'll have a, you know, good grip on Ostpreußen, so maybe push the Germans out of Ostpreußen to start and then kind of hold the line from there. You know, you could figure some other stuff out with Romania. Depending on what Hungary does, you can maybe, you know, close up the flank by pushing into Slovakia a little bit. But, of course, you know, the main thing to do is just hold until relieved. Get some ports, hope the British and the French can help you out. And really all you got to do is just hold out until the Allies save your sorry little pink ass. Because you think Poland's pink right now, the color gets a lot more pink. But yeah, again, this one is, it's really just a waiting game. This is probably the easiest nation to form in terms of speed and difficulty. It's probably one of the more difficult ones to play as after the fact, because your two neighbors are both very large, very powerful, and they have built in their focus trees means to take your land and or kill you. So again, what I'm doing is I'm just keeping an eye, making sure Germany doesn't reassert eastern claims and Russia doesn't claim eastern Poland, which either one of those would be bad, or, you know, claim the Baltic states, and just, you know, getting all my infantry armies trained up, retraining everyone, trying to get everyone to where I go to get that combat bonus. But once the war starts, once you finally have your war against Lithuania, things will be quite all right there. So yeah, you just kind of sit and wait, and as soon as world tension hits 10%, you start justifying a war goal against Lithuania. As soon as you get it, you click go, and you tell all your armies to go. So, you know, just nothing too crazy, nothing, you know, you don't have to do anything too extreme, nothing really extreme at all. It's fairly simple. So Germany is doing German things, and there we go. World tension just hit 10%, and that was me starting my war goal justification against the Lithuanians. So once I got all the political national focuses, I went down the industrial ones and also the army ones. So yeah, build up your industry as much as possible. Get some civilian factories. I would, you know, you can take over Lithuania as you are. So again, I focus all my industry and all of my efforts from here on out to preparing for what I will do after I have you know, clicked the button and turned into the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. You know, it's not, you know, you're not as strong as you are in EU4, so you gotta, and your neighbors are a little challenging, so you've got to plan accordingly. I've actually never done the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth in EU4, but yeah, we can see Germany taking the Sudetenland. I'm checking on my war goal. I'm buying resources from the Allies. Talking about Danzig and Poznan are the two states that Germany will take from you. So maybe what's a good thing to do is to, if you join the Allies and you can hold out, then that'd be good. Otherwise, you might want to just give Germany Danzig and then fight the Soviets and then turn around and take out the Germans. It's up to you what you do after the fact. Again, this most of you probably don't need this tutorial. It truly is just put your army on the Lithuanian border and either switch ideologies or wait, get that national focus, wait till 10%, justify war goal, and go. So we should be getting close here. We're getting some of the events and all that. Getting artillery and anti-tank and all the necessary tools to defeat that toothbrushed failed art student mustache guy. I think I joined the Allies here. I don't know that. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, now I did all the industrial national focuses. There we go. We got our war goal. Go and go. So do some of the wartime policies, and this isn't hard. It really isn't. Some of the initial battles, they do have a lot of divisions on the front line, but you should push through no problem. If you do have any problems, though, of course, leave a comment. I will be able to help you out as best I can. You can see I'm already planning on resisting the Soviets. So there we go. We broke through, and I just tell a guy to go to the capital, and there we go. So back to old me. All right, everybody. So we're back. We conquered Lithuania. The world tension went up enough, and look, we haven't even done reassert Eastern claims yet. I know that because I watched them. The Soviets are just going down anti-fascist diplomacy, and Romania likes us. So there we go. We have conquered Lithuania, and now let us reform the Commonwealth. There's simple history. There's ample history between ourselves and Lithuania. Now that we are once again united through force of arms, perhaps it is time to revive the most glorious days of our past. Reform the Commonwealth. So not only will this change our flag and change us to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, we'll get cores and all those, but we'll also get a lot of extra cores. So let's click it. There we go. We changed our shade of pink, kind of a weirder shade of pink. An interesting flag, the PLC. And so what cores we have? We have cores on Ostpreußen, and a lot of the Western Soviet states. So pretty much all the border ones up till here. We don't have, oh, we do have claims on Latvia. Well, Latvia, you might have to die. Yes, you got a lot of claims on the Ruskies. So up to here. Huh. So I think it's anything behind this line. So we do get this. So you get a lot of claims on Russia. You get some claims on Latvia. And so what would I do in this situation? Well, it'd be very, very nice of dear old Adolf to do Danzig for Slovakia. Honestly, I might try and defend against Hitler, or I'd give him Danzig and then just focus on fighting the Soviets. But anyhow, joining the Allies is what I'm probably going to try to do when I continue this game is going to be a good call, because when the war's over, you can take all your glorious land and bring back the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth to its rightful size. You know, you have a pretty sweet flag, and you keep the Polish focus tree. So there we go. Pretty straightforward. I'm not sure about the timing. It's about the same speed whether or not you switch communist or fascist versus waiting for 10% world tension. But just know that you can stay non-aligned, and then through your focus tree, which I've chosen, you can switch democratic after, you know, you get the whole conquering stuff out of the way. Switch to democracy, and then in the peace treaty of World War II, you take your claims. Republic of Belarus. Yeah, nope, sorry, Belarus. The PLC is who is going to prevail here. So, pretty straightforward tutorial. I'm sure most of y'all, this should be one that is relatively simple to do. Probably one of the more fun ones to do, because, you know, the more giant European blobs you can have, the better. Something to do with the Soviets to destroy some reason to destroy the Soviets other than just blob. Although you can absolutely blob and you'd have more cores, so that's perfectly fine as well. So there we go, Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Let me know what you think of this Formable nation. Hope this guide was helpful for you. And if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, follow me on Twitter, and checking out my Patreon page. Thank you all so much for watching. Until the next one, this is Mikey Panzernator signing out. See you, nerds.